Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and it's kind of amazing just how far shop lighting has come even in the last decade. Transitioned from, well, candles in the old days, old days, to incandescent bulbs like this. You know, you'd put a 60 in it if you needed a ton of light, 100 if you were rich and wanted to risk it. But even things like this is an old one, cloth wrap, power cable, even where it's split, got cloth tape holding it together. Stress management was just not a thing. Anyway, then we went to halogen lights, which were super great, super bright, and a fire hazard. Now we've gone to LEDs, and LEDs are great. In fact, the LED lights, like with our flashlights, I'm going to do an example here with this diffusion cover. This is actually designed to put a small light into in order to turn it into an area light. So this is what it looks like, just kind of firing out at the end of this little Milwaukee flashlight, rechargeable. I've got the newer version of this I'll do a review on. But anyway, watch what happens when I put it into this diffusing light. You see what went on there? Just everything is lit up and it produces a different kind of light. My camera's making some adjustments here, but this company, Volterrex, actually, I'm going to start out with the box here to show you what we're in for. Asked me if I wanted to take one of these for a spin, and I had actually watched a video on the Den of Tools with a light. It might be this very same one, and I was kind of impressed. Now, this is the specs of it. This is 19,500 lumens. 5,000 K is the color temperature. I'll show you how this thing works in a second, and also show it in action. So just hang on. Anyway, this one IP42 rating. It's pretty heavy, 7 pounds, 15-foot cord. Now, this is an example using Lux for the beam spread or the light spread going out to 60 feet. So these are 10-foot circles. And so anything within, say, 30 feet, you're getting plenty of light for detail work. But it falls off, you know, inverse square law, you're going to lose the light pretty quick. But you can do a lot with one of these lights. Very well built. So here's what it is. Hang on. Looks like this. Looks like a big bag wrapped around a 19,000 lumen LED light. You can see that, see the size of this thing. And in order to have this bag be useful, it's inflated. So there's a fan in this that literally blows up the bag. Of course, you can, you know, compress the bag, but you can see it also has wires wrapped around a fairly durable LED system. There's the specs on this Volterrex. But let's go ahead and play with this. This particular one actually draws not that much. I think I measured it around 119. Use my kilowatt here, 119 watts, but I can run it off this Milwaukee top off. So that's how I've been using it out in the field, outside, but you can also plug it in. So I used it on a couple of different projects. So let's go ahead and crack this thing on. Look at that. Boom. Blows up like a giant. Pretty wild. It has a remote control here. Back this up so you can use it as a light. And what I'm going to do, I can hit the 50% to drop it, or the 100%, or I can toggle it down to a low setting. That's the lowest it'll blink. So it's still pretty bright. Yes, it makes some noise. That is a thing if you were hoping to sit around this like a campfire. But the remote is great. You can turn it on and off from a distance. If you don't have the remote and you turn it on, or you plug it in, it turns on to the 100% so that you can control it. So what I'm going to do is show you some footage of this thing in action. So here we've got the Volterrex 150 watt light outside. And first, this is how dark it was. It was pitch black, and you can see I've got it on the tripod. It has a very sturdy, very tall tripod that you can mount it to. It also has a C-clamp and it's got an eye bolt. So it has several different mounting options depending on your needs. I found the tripod to be probably the most useful in the portable settings, and you can see I've got that hooked up to the Milwaukee top off sitting on the chair out there. So this is actually running full power here, and you can see just because it's a sphere essentially, you can see just how far the reach is, and it really gives that true color as well, which is nice. I zoom out here, now you can see just what the reach is into the shadows way on the end. It's a different kind of light than a traditional directional shop light or a small diffuse light. So here it is, pitch dark. I'm going to hit it with a flashlight just kind of to show you this is what the flashlight, this is a pretty powerful flashlight, what this does, and then turn on, it's just like, it's sun on a stick is what I like to think of it as. So you can see just how bright it is. Now that big band, from left or up to down is an artifact of my camera. I've got an iPhone 13 Pro, and it actually has this really weird banding in any kind of point light source. But anyway, that's what it looks like outside. Let's go inside here, and I was doing a bathroom remodel, so this is what it looks like out in the hall. It is actually still fairly bright, given that if I turn it off, you'll see near the end it actually is pretty dark out. But what happens when you're using traditional lighting is you kind of have to point it in the direction. So even though this is kind of overkill, I stuck it in the bathroom doing the painting project now, and lit up the whole area. I mean, it was priceless once you see what that kind of lighting can do. This 150 watt or 19,000 lumen Volterrex light is a whole different world compared to traditional lights. With that, Doc out.